wouldn't be surprised if they usually do stuff like that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause usually when they vaccinate or use needles on pets and stuff, not always, but sometimes they'll put them under, and then they'll charge you money for that too, right?
Yeah.
Going into a vet place, walking into the vet clinic, bro, any vet clinic, you know you're about paying like 150 to at least $75 when you walk in the door. Just walking in the door, having them look at your cat.
It's fucked.
Yeah. And if you're going to a specialist, like I've been taking Kobe right now, because of his eye,
Yeah.
about $300 every time just for walking in the door.
It's hard to be ruthless around something
Jesus.
that doesn't make happy.
Just to walk in the motherfucking door, $300. Just for them to look at the cat's eye and say, okay, he's fine.
That's fucking dumb.
You know what's crazy, more crazy about it? Because the guy did the eye surgery,
Yeah.
no other vet will touch the cat's eye because it's such an expensive surgery. It's like a $4,000 surgery, and if anything happened, any complications happen, they don't want to be liable or get sued. So another vet wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, even if there was something wrong with them. They'd be like, "Fuck that," because I can't be liable for this. You have to go see the guy who did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's another reason why when you have a vet, you need to make sure it's a vet you actually know. Sorry, I was just taking a toke.
It's cool.
Yeah, man, pets are expensive. And like even food is expensive, but you want to give your cat good food. You want to buy expensive food because the reason why you give your cats good food is to avoid fucking vet bills. You know, if you feed your cat fucking Iams or some like cheap stuff, you know, in the long run, it like for now, because he's little or whatever, it's not a big deal. But in the long run, you want to switch to whatever the hell it's called, like science diet, or even when you go to the veterinarian place, they'll recommend stuff for your cat and stuff. And I know this shit's expensive, but the reason why they're recommending it is because when you look at the back on the ingredients, there's only like a couple things on the back. So you don't have to actually get that exact expensive one, but you have to find something similar to that, maybe cheaper, you know what I'm saying? But you don't want to have to fucking get your cat some shit with a bunch of names on the back, and you don't even know what the hell the names mean yourself, and you're feeding that to your cat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens, right? Like, there's like, some of these fucking cat places, like the dollar store, they'll fill some of their cat foods with shit like ash. Actual ash, like, you know, like from like smoke and smog, they'll fill it up with that, like ashes.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
Wow, what's a good food? What's a good brand to buy for cats?
Well, the one that we've been using for years, actually, the one I mentioned there was Science Diet. Feel the police station again? What the fuck?
If you're a god, man, or myth, even Thor bleeds.
Apparently gotta go talk to some dick at the police station before we can continue the story. I'm distracted. Talking about kitties. I can't wait for them to add a new patrol though. I want them to have more than Midtown, which in the PC, I believe they have something like what? Isn't it like 5 or 6 different patrol areas?
I'm not sure.
That's what I swear it was. And that's I thought that was really cool because like fuck. Midtown's cool, but I want to be able to fight other bosses and stuff. You know what I mean? And the one thing I can't lie that I do miss about DC Universe over this game, which I do love this game actually more than DC Universe without a doubt. I actually do like this more. I like the style and everything. I know DC was a bigger game, but I actually prefer the style more. It's just more dungeon-esque and stuff. But long story short, I miss being able to crawl on buildings. Like, I think it'd be so fun actually being Spider-Man and crawling up a wall or scaling up the wall with like the guys in those games and fighting people on top of the rooftops and shit. know? They should have like really strong opponents, like in DC Universe, on top of the rooftops. So
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Fight, yeah, if you want to go and fight some hard targets, you just go up to the roof of the building, and you can farm up there for a bit with your boys, and it could be like a whole bunch of sentinels or something crazy, you know? They all just start landing on the roof of the fucking building. Yeah.
Buddy.
I don't know if you remember, Eric, but like a couple years back, we were even talking about a Marvel game that's coming out where we were playing DC. Yeah, I don't know if you vaguely remember that. We were saying how Marvel was supposed to create a DCU like competitor, like a game to compete with it. And I personally believe that this is really the game that we might have not really known about, but we were talking about at that time. You know what I mean? This game is 3 years old, and you were probably playing DC Universe right around that time.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I still love DC Universe. One of the reasons why I don't, because of you. Yes, you.
I do.
What you did was how many times you switched your character. It started to sink into me that it was like, wow, they just always make us switch to be the flavor of the month, and that's how they take their money from us.
Yep.
It irritated me, and how they kept making it at a certain point your PvP gear would become irrelevant. That right there, though.
I went back to that game and I fucking had to grind back to the top of the list of where all the armor was and then enjoy it, and I just stopped playing and have to do that again.
Yeah, and then after doing that a couple times, you're like, what the fuck is the point of this, man? Every 3 months they reset this shit, so I gotta do this again? For real? Are you serious? Like, no, that's not fun. At least with this game, when your characters are strong, and you get you get a thing that you get like in Elder Scrolls, where you carry over permanent attributes. Even though the attributes aren't that much for some things, like the brutal on the crit damage, I'd say is the most important thing to spec in. Like, I was talking about that with Smokey or someone earlier today. Like, specking into crit chance from there is fucking pointless.
Oh well, yeah, you
Crit
get
chance and
versus like
yeah.
75% crit damage.
Exactly. Like the numbers, they just don't add up. Like even if you're looking for crit chance, you're better off just finding a piece of armor. And I was explaining that to someone also, saying like, if you want crit chance, man, go for that in armor, because it's harder to get that crit damage for armor anyways. You can find it, it's not impossible, but it's easier to get crit on your armor than it is to get crit from the infinity points. So you're way better off going that direction. Let alone Eric, I forgot to mention this. Press, are you doing anything?
New.
If you want, you can warp to me for a second, or empty your, okay, before you empty your inventory, press the options button.
Okay.
Now press R1 and go to help. Now go down to fundamentals. Now scroll down through fundamentals with your analog stick until you get to power rankings.
Yep.
And read some of them off to me.
Durability provides 1% defense rating multiplier per rank plus heroes level X health per rank.
So like, as you can see, these are the actual attributes.
Yeah, I know. I've read all these multiple times.
Okay, good. So say this is a big deal, because, for example, say your character's fighting in an intelligent base. Well, what would you go for if your character was fighting an intelligence base? Do you want to go for a 0.5 crit rating multiplier, or do you want to go for a full % crit damage multiplier?
Obviously, you're going to go damage multiplier.
Exactly, as well as, oh, well, I get a melee damage reduction, and it's like, well, you get a negative 0.25, so you have to put 5 points into that to even make that 1 point.
Well, look at
and
this way.
only a maximum of 25.
And this is what I was almost arguing with people, like last time I was talking about it, Iceman, and Smokey was like, fucking, if you look at durability and energy, right? Energy, 0.25% resource cost. Iceman has no resource cost. 0.25% damage taken from range attacks. That's what energy does.
Energy's pretty much useless.
Energy's pretty much useless unless you need the resource cost reduction.
Yeah, and even then it's like so minuscule, you're better off just going to pick up, what was it called, one of the legendary items that give you tons of spirit.
Yeah.
Like, that's realistically what I've seen a lot of guys do with their builds, is they keep all their gear damaged, they keep all their shit damaged, and they'll go and pick up an item for their
What I was saying is that when I'm fucking Iceman gets damaged from energy and durability, so I can pick either one. So I'm obviously going to go for durability because it actually gives me health, and it gives me a defense rating multiplier. And if you look into Iceman's trait, it fucking has a base defense rating multiplier. So there's two fucking bonuses to scaling for defense rating I have on Iceman if I get that.
Well, if you ask me, like 100% your main focus would be durability, but you know how you can increase some of your attributes anyways, right?
Well, yeah, through armor and shit.
Well, some add points to all attributes, or some add points to specific attributes, like you'll get a ring that will have item into this. So I would say you'd want to aim for durability, strength, or intelligence, because realistically, as much as you don't.
If I'm gonna go for an attribute, I'm just gonna stack durability. Like if I'm gonna have an item and it's gonna have one attribute on it, it's gonna be durability.
Yes,
that's how it's gonna be.
But I'm saying if your ring has two, and it's a really good ring, hopefully it has strength, because strength is 1% deflect per rank. So that's pretty much.
Yeah, but Iceman's whole thing isn't deflect, so it's useless to me.
Well,
certain characters are about deflect, right?
You still can never go wrong with intelligence, because you're just going to get more credit.
Intelligence is good, yes, but again, it's not exactly what he scales off of the most.
No, and you can still get crit damage out of your infinity points. Like, you're better off still to go all durability.
I'll just go all durability, he'll be really tanky with getting all the damage scaling from that, and I'll have over 100 base damage with having like 40 durability, because I'm going to get all pieces like
but what I'm
5 durability
times, I notice a lot of durability items come with strength, so you're probably going to end up getting a combination of the two.
I'll figure it out. I'll just keep playing. I'll get the items.
You can always weave it, right? You can always make your items if you need to.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Here's my plan.
Yes, I did Cosmic solo. Ha ha ha, yes.
With what guy?
Electra.
Electra? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
It was hard, it wasn't easy, I'll tell you that much. It was really hard. I had to change up my build over and over and over again. Because she kept dying. She's very squishy, but with this build it worked out really nice. I'm gonna save this video.
Remember,